Should be live. I should be live now. Not doing any openings. I just thought I started this a second ago. Just trying to make sure it's live and there's sound. There we go. Why am I listening to myself? I usually shut that off because I'm really excited about what I'm about to show you. This is really exciting stuff. And so here we are. Just want to kind of give people a chance to come into this live stream and comment if they want. I know it's here where I'm broadcasting from, this undisclosed location in Southern California along the San Andreas Fault. The last time I was live, I was trying to show that video. Where did it go? And now it's gone. Okay, let me just get a few things out of the way and I'll get started here. Let me make sure I can see what's going on. Anybody watching? You're going to love this. This is amazing. This is the evidence that we've been looking for this whole time. Everybody's been saying, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. Guess what? There's something there. And it's been found. And it's been found by a group, a guy named Dan and Dmitry Pavlov from the Laboratory of Alternative History, a Russian organization. They were there. They've been going on trips. I'm trying to organize it so I can show you these things without showing you a bunch of videos of the way that my desktop is organized. I can't move this stuff off my desktop, so I've got to tolerate it. Let me close a couple things and show you this incredible new thing. Okay, let's look at the find. Okay, now what are we looking at here? I right away, and by the way, I should open. Let's have a drinking game. Every time I say the word, by the way, you have to take a shot. Okay, that's 2 shots so far. That's the new drinking game. I really hate it when I say that. It's just a bad habit, and I'm a ADSD or ADHD, sorry. And I don't finish my sentences. That's a given, right? We saw it on my live streams. Thank you for joining, everybody. I see 5 people are watching. Thank you for the thumbs up. You're not going to believe this. This is incredible stuff that I'm about to show you. I wanted to give due credit, and I'm looking over here at the translation on the video. So I'll let you have the video in a second, but look at this canal shot. This is the Richat Canal, and those are people down there in the middle of this canal. I've shown this before. I'm going to show it on Google Earth. I'm just so excited about this, and wait till you see what they found inside this canal. I discovered this canal points right at the mouth of the Richat structure live on my stream a few months back. Let's get into where this is. I know what to do. I'll show you this first. Let's get into it. This is the video. I better not have sound because I don't want to get into. Yeah, I had too much coffee as well. Don't want to get into the music and copyright violations, but this is one of my old shorts right here. Let me make sure it's enlarged on the screen. I'm still juggling a few things. Let me just enlarge that. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Let me turn that around and do this. Okay. So this is a short that I did when I first discovered this, about a year ago. And you can see it looping. So let's just say it's when I realized that there was advanced technology. It's pointing right at the mouth of the Richat structure. So I love my shorts from about a year ago. I did some AI trigger clickbait type of shorts, and those weren't so good, and I probably should go in and delete them. And I don't know if I can stop this video very easily. There it is. Okay, so whoops. Let's not play that music. Turn that off. And can I play it now? Oh, there we go. So let's zooming in. You can see where this starts to show, this canal. Now, what is visible here is about 50 miles of canal, and it's pointing right at the mouth of the Richat structure. Dmitry Pavlov's group went there and found this. Well, okay, I found it myself, and I found part of it, and then I later found the full 50 miles that's exposed and followed it in this video. Let's go down into it. So, and also Dimitri's group went, this is pretty much where they were, this big first part right here. And you can see that I think they were over here, right there, by that second part that's showing over there. We'll go into Google Earth and take a look, but you can definitely see a cut through the mountains going on here. Shows about 10 miles. There's some parts right here where maybe a mud flood covered it up. And wait till you see their video and what they found. I'm just can't believe this. This is a big megalithic, I think it's metal, corroded piece of maybe a ship. Okay, you're gonna love this. We'll get into that in a second, but I just want to show you this spot right here. It's somewhere around here, and I could tell in their video that I'm going to show you that they were right here by this little notch or whatever you want to call it, and it cuts through. Now follow the canal. It keeps going. It seems to kind of disappear over here, but not really. When you zoom in and look at it, you can see several hard to see plateaus are cut through. That line is still cutting through. Okay, that line is still cutting through right here. And yeah, just like the Panama Canal, which is about the same length, you've got locks that help it get up. I think there must have been something like that here. Not sure how that would have worked. This little spot right here is very prominent. I'm just clicking it. 50 miles long, yeah. And yeah, this part right here, we'll go visit it real quick in Google Earth, and I'll show you. And then here it seems kind of empty, but you get more, and then it seems to split off into two different cut throughs here. I think there was two-way traffic here, or there's always two-way traffic, but there's actually two lanes or two canal cut throughs here. Probably on the right. Which way do you think they did it during Atlantis time? So wait till you see this thing. Let's talk about the Google Earth. So when you zoom in, you can really easily, it's hard to find. Okay. And the way to see it, okay, I mentioned, see how I am? I don't finish my sentences. It seems like this thing is pointing towards the Senegal River. So I do believe it connected. So there's probably some canals in here we need to start looking for. You can see how all those sand dunes have swept over everything. So we can't see much. But when we get up here, we can see where it comes out. And the way I can find it first you got to grab it like that, and you got to point at the shot, and you can zoom right in and see it starts right about here. Am I right or am I wrong? Maybe I'm talking about over here a little bit. This one's always a little hard. There's several canals, by the way, that are cutting through the Adrar. In fact, I'll show you that too. Dimitri shared an image, and I don't like to share people's stuff unless they gave me permission. Dimitri did give me permission to show this and this part of his video, but the thing so there you go. That's it right there, and that's the part that I first found and discovered that it kept going straight. Okay, we can zoom into this and follow it a little bit more. I've shown this a million times, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. But see, as you get to places like here and here and here, you can still see that cut through, even though the darker mountains are more prominent. Here's a little cut through here. And over here, you can see it quite clear. And then we have a different artifact, a different scan. And yeah, it's open desert for a while, so it's kind of hard to see. But look at that. I mean, thank you, Mike Laws, by the way, for commenting. Yeah, I won't keep you waiting much longer. I'm going to show you this video that you're just going to freak. Now, oh, well, look at this. Here's something I've never seen before. What's that? What is this little circle here? Something? Maybe not. But you can see this scan, the yellow part, not the pink part. Definitely, you've got a cut through right there. And we followed it out. I did live on YouTube about 2 years ago, I think, and just freaked out when I discovered that this goes all the way through. Here we can see, I kind of want to find it right there. I mean, it's very, very prominent, this cut through, 50 miles long. Okay, same with the Panama Canal. Thank you, Locke, for joining us and commenting. Please comment. I currently got 19 people watching. That's pretty good. Let's see if I can see the true number of thumbs up. Oops. Okay, yep, there we go. 10 thumbs up. That's awesome. Yeah, 19 people watching. Thank you for joining today. Now I'm going to show you the channel. Although we didn't really get through this actually has more. This canal has more. This canal's all over this area. Don't forget, I went there. My first trip, I walked down one of the parallel canals. Okay, here's the video. They got drone footage, guys. Here is the channel. It's at Online LAI. You can go there yourself. It seems to be the second video, 91,000 views, but it's all in Russian. Okay, sorry about that. So they also have a tour company. I'm not the I don't know about all the connections, but there's a tour company as well, and it looks like I'm going to be collaborating with these guys. More on that to follow. I haven't touted my GoFundMe. Pardon me. Touted my GoFundMe. I'm still trying to raise money for my next trip, but this is new stuff. This is incredible stuff. Thinking about making some changes. Let's look at the screenshots rather than show the video. I'm going to grab some screenshots from the video so I don't run the video. And there they are. Look how big that is. That cut through. Okay, I could imagine that cut through could happen naturally if you have just a small section. This is, I'll show you where that is. I immediately recognized this little part here. So I don't really want to give any hints as to where this artifact was found. It's there, it's sitting there. You can go to it if you want. So I'm not really interested in exposing everything about, but they definitely have gone there and they definitely found this. Here's some more drone shots of the canal itself. I thought these were incredible. And you can see little things entering the canal there. You wonder, was that a water event that did it later, or was that part of the structure? But look how big that is, and look how deep that is. If you've seen my videos from the parallel canals, you know that it's only about 20 feet deep. This right here is at least 40 foot deep. And you can go look at their video yourself. Here's a shot that shows the bottom. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely something that was going on there. I do believe that's Dmitry Pavlov right there at the base of this canal. And you can kind of see how the bottom could have been even full of water later on. However, this segment of the canal seems like it wouldn't really hold water like a lake or a, what is it? A billabong? If you know what a billabong is from the song Waltzing Matilda, a billabong is a portion of a curve of a river that got kind of landlocked and turned into a lake. So it's a curved lake. It's called a billabong. And usually rivers form with curves. They don't form straight like you see here. So that's why I do believe that this is an unnatural canal. I just had someone comment on my last video, and they were talking about, well, I don't know if it was my last video, but they were talking about how I was wrong, and this is definitely not a canal, it's a tectonic. Come on, guys. Let's look at the San Andreas Fault. If you go, I live near it. I could do video from it. They're badlands. You don't have a canal like this. That's not what a fault line looks like. Okay, tectonic activity doesn't separate and make gaps like this. Tectonic activity, the San Andreas Fault, if you can see my hands, and you can't because I enlarged the video. Let's see if I can, whoops, I messed up. I didn't want to do that, but I was trying to show you my hands. Tectonic activity is like this, okay? And it's so tight. It's so tight. The tectonic plates from the San Andreas Fault are so tight that the water in the Coachella Valley, it's called Desert Hot Springs for a reason. It springs over the San Andreas Fault, okay? So it's not like it's a big old river. It's a tight friction of two plates, and in this case, in the San Andreas Faults, it's the I think it's called the North Atlantic Plate and the American Plate. I'm sorry, Pacific, not Atlantic. So I don't quote me on that. But this is so tight that water can't pass through it, and it jumps up and over and creates the hot springs north of Palm Springs. And then in Palm Springs, you also have mineral springs, and those are a whole different ball game. In fact, that's why people invested in land out here, because they thought when California falls into the ocean, this would be the new ocean seafront right here, but that's a different topic entirely. I'm looking at the comments real quick. If this proved to be the entire basis of Western, thank you. Let's see what that says. I can't see it. If this is proved, the entire basis of Western civilization is upended. Wait till you see this artifact. Thank you, Mick. And you've been reading Indian reference to Atlantis from their ancient teachings. When you say Indian, are you saying India? This is interesting, Mick. I'd like to have the comment on that. If you have anything to share, please do. I think you're talking about not Native Americans, but Indians from India. Thank you, Dirk. It's nice to see you again. Yeah, wait till you see the relic they found, okay? I want to go with the screenshots because, okay, where's the next one? This one was pretty easy for me to figure out when I saw that because of how deep it is, how there's water there. Okay, there's water there today. There's water there today. And if you see, you can see the canal way over there. There's a little curve happening right here. And if you want to compare that to Google Earth, okay, I guess I'm going to have to close all these to get back to my browser. Google Earth, see, no, that's not it. Don't get tricked. I'm pretty sure it's this back here. Right there, you can see how there's a little, right about here, I think they're standing in there and they're looking at this. Oh, look, it's even got a name. So Soueiguiyat. It's always funny when stuff like that pops up. And see, what you can see is there's what looks more natural. This channel here is more natural looking. And I do believe when they created these, they used natural features to help complement their matrix. You see stuff like this and you say, was that another? I mean, what's that one? There's all sorts of like tertiary canals too. And I can show you really quick what, thank you very much, Rome. Is that Rome Dog? Thank you, Rome Dog. Yeah, this is so important. I really believe it. That's why I got on, I'm kind of working on a compendium, and I showed these canals in my last, the compendium was like 3 hours long. So I was editing each part and I was working on it today. And I thought, man, these drone shots are just too important to wait. I could die tomorrow and I want these out there. So you can probably see this wall in some of the drone shots, right? And where that exact thing is interesting. I don't know where they found it around here or even if it's in here, but look at how there's all these entrances on the side. Like here, you can see both sides have like a little entry point. And then down here, it turns a little more natural. Like, was there, look at that thing. I mean, this is Google Earth, and those guys got the drone footage. I'm going to close this. So let's not forget, go to @online LAI for the original video. I'm going to put that down below. Let me just put it here in the live stream for now. Oops. Yeah, you're going to find it. It's the second video in their live stream. And there's a lot. So unfortunately, they're all in Russian and some of them are quite long. And these guys have like 300,000 subscribers more. And so 1.3, sorry, 1,300 videos. I actually had that many for a while. Thank you, Rome Dog. It's nice to see you. Let me get rid of those comments so everybody can see this. And let me get me out of the picture. I put myself to talk about fault line. Faults do all sorts of stuff. But fault lines raise up, but they're squeezing together and pushing that land. Okay, so that's usually why you've got a wrinkle in the fault. And like, sorry, I'm so excited about this, but I'm trying to describe the San Andreas Fault. You don't see what we're seeing here. You see badlands, okay? You see uplifted and just pure chaos where I'm nearby. And I keep pointing that way because that's the direction. Wait, yeah, that's the direction of the fault line. And I've been studying that since 1991, 1989, 90. I came here in this area, and the fault line was in one of my paintings. The mountains are going in two different directions, technically. I won't get into that. I'll try to find that painting that I did like 30 years ago. And yeah, I mean, come on, Plato wrote about canals, and yeah, when it was an island, although I do believe it was more of an inland island than something connected to the Atlantic Ocean. And I think we've already demonstrated all this. Thank you for saying, please hit the like buttons, and please let's get this algorithm going. Please give me the thumbs up. Please give me the comments. Mick Law says, yes, he was talking about India, and he will get that link to us. Okay, let's get to the relic, okay? It's coming next. It's coming soon. Let me see if I can share another picture. We shared that already. There's that little lake right there. And I can find that on Google Earth. It's right here. Where's Google Earth? Let's back it out. Where's the lake? It's right here, right? That's that lake. So there, I knew where this was the moment I saw the drone footage. And then look at over here. There's a little straight line. Like I do believe, look at that's a 90-degree angle right there. Let me put that on 3-dimensional. Look at that. It's not quite 90 degrees, but when I say these little inlets or outlets, that's like a 90-degree angle right next to it, going straight here and then disappearing up here. Where that went and what that's all about. Look at it. It's still going. Could that still be part of a canal? It's kind of hard to see, and then it kind of falls off. And if you know me, I do believe that this is mining activity or quarrying activity. I won't get into that right now. I promised you the relic. That's where we're going next. Okay, one more picture of the drone shot. It's actually the one that I used in my thumbnail. And those are people down there, you know, and you can see it going off in the distance over there. And that's, I showed this from the other direction. There's that little wall that's inside because it's encompassing a place where people are doing agricultural activity. So there's modern day water in this place, and it doesn't just gather it. It's probably got a foundation of water, silt. Who knows what's down there? But we showed that one picture of Dimitri standing next to the wall, and there's a big difference between the bottom. I do believe there's probably a layer that's built up. So digging in this canal might be the answer. Okay, I'm going to have to go to their video for this next part because it's just too hard to take screenshots, and I have to be kind of careful about the way I do it. I don't want to just run the video. Here's the video. I'm going to just kind of go ahead to a part here. There's Dimitri talking about it. So he did a presentation, and I am going to be really excited. And here he is showcasing the find. So it's kind of hard to see. I'll get a little closer, but what is that? Now, I'm going to read some of the notes from the video when I do this. So I'm not going to be able to see. When are we going to the Azores? Okay, now I know who Romdog is. The Azores, sorry, the Azores. Great view. Zero, you're going to love this. Watch this. If there's any evidence of advanced civilization, it's this chunk. I believe it's metal. And the Azores is on my list, that's for sure. Oh, by the way, I put on this outfit not because I wanted to look like Indiana Jones like I usually do. I put this on because it's freezing, man. It's like under 60 degrees in here right now. Actually, I think it's more closer to 70 degrees in here, but it's freezing, and outside it's like 62 degrees, and it's windy. Okay, let's talk about this. This is so exciting. Let's go to this shot right here. There it is. Let's maximize this. And I'm not going to play it, but we can look at the advanced screens. They did a few things to this. I'm just looking at it, and they were examining this for quite a while. Look, it looks like it's a segment right there. I'm going to read their notes directly because, by the way, I think Dimitri has a PhD. He's not just he's not like me. I'm a YouTuber. I have an MBA, so I do have a little education. I have over 20 years university lecturing experience, a lot of English teaching too, but I have been educating people for more than, gosh, I think that my first teaching job was like 35 years ago now, believe it or not. 1996 is when I went to Taiwan. I think I was, so that's like almost, what is it? 96, 2014. Just a second here. I'm sorry to waste your time doing this, but 2024, I meant to say, minus 1996. equals 28 years ago. And I was, so about 30 years ago is when I first started teaching. Maybe I can say in 1990 or 91, I was actually a substitute. I was a substitute teacher's assistant in the school district right out here. Is it Desert Sands School District? Desert something school district. Can't remember, but I definitely have the evidence. Anyways, yeah, so I've been like preparing presentations like this for years. But where are we with, let's make sure this is visible. I want to make this full size. There we go. So let me read these notes to you. Where are those notes? Don't tell me I disappeared them. There it is. And let's talk about this thing. First of all, they put a compass next to it. And, okay, wait. Do I want to save that? Yep. Let me just save that and get rid of that and then make this bigger. Let's see. Oh, great. You're showing me live on your channel. That's awesome. Everybody, please subscribe to me and please subscribe to Zero Control. Zero Control showed me so much. He definitely one of the first Google Earthers I met when I started doing post Jimmy. Okay, so pre Jimmy, I was still doing Taiwan videos, and I was just getting started in stuff like this. An AA and a ton of anthropology and history towards the BA. Rome Dog Stig, Chinook native map maker here, put a ruler over the mouth of the Columbia River in Ore and align it with the mouth of the Nile in Egypt. It goes over the Atlas Mountains. Okay, I'll check that maybe before the end of the video. Let's look at that one more time. Okay, yeah, sub-teaching. My friend just told me he won't teach it again. He was teaching in California. He got his master's, and he went to another state and continued teaching. And then he went back. He got back into it after he left, and he couldn't handle it. The smartphone ruined it for him and everybody else. Yeah, Atlanteans lived at the base of the Atlas Mountains. Check my old videos for that argument. What is this? Mines, Atlantis was not at one place. It was a civilization. I think 10 major cities. Sure, that's what he said. 10 major kingdoms, 10 twins, 10 kingdoms. Re-indigenizing mines. Okay, let's get back into it. Let's talk about the structure here and read the notes from the video. So, yeah, they went to this place. They call it Plato's Canal. And with respect, I want to change the name to Plato's Canal, but I think that Plato's Canal doesn't really emphasize the location of this canal. And this 50-mile long canal goes through what I call the lower Adrar Mountains, and you get from one side of it to the other. And then it opens up into what I believe was a sea, as I showed in my video. I might play that again. And so I do believe that there were boats. And could this metal thing, and why do I think this was metal? Let's talk about it. When metal corrodes, it's this. Let's ask AI this question right here and right now. See, I'm finding these things out live. We can. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear the AI, so I will just repeat what he says. But I'm going to use the voice. AI, are you there? I'm looking at something that I believe is a large chunk of corroded metal in the desert, and I want to know if metal corrodes enough. Does it still stay magnetic? Like, for example, if it's iron and it corrodes and rusts and becomes something else, maybe even becomes part of the stone through some type of would you call it metamorphic, like a butterfly. A butterfly is metamorphous, right? But rock is metamorphic. And does that metal also become metamorphic, like a piece of what do you call it, petrified wood? And if it does go through that crystallization process, does it lose its attributes of magnetism? Okay, well, what about its detection from a metal detector? Okay, so here's the deal. By the way, I don't know. You have to take a shot. I just said it. BTW. Whenever I say by the way, you have to take a shot. That's the rule. So I'm showing the comments, but I'm not really reading them. I'll go over them again. I just wanted to show them right away. But at this time, I want to still focus on the notes. So they had some notes further. Sorry. The notes here read, it's basically a translation of the video's transcript, so you can look at them yourself. They're talking about the channel. I think it's a canal. It's currently a channel. Flat, horizontal bottom, vegetation indicating that there's water under the sand, and it's like a water table of sorts. I don't know how, is it an aquifer? I don't think so. But it definitely holds water. And so then they say about this thing. They go on to describe the channel, and then they say they discovered what looks like rusty remains of some kind of column or cylinder. Okay, I want to turn off the sound, not because of music, but this thing here is, look at that. You can kind of see here that it disappears. Is it going underneath? Is it a big chunk of metal? It didn't have any response to their compass. They took the compass, and the compass didn't make the needle turn. So this thing, let me continue reading here. We discovered what looks very much like rusty remains of some kind of column or cylinder, so rusted that it's almost entirely corroded. Under close scrutiny through a camera lens, you can see this rusted chunk. Definitely want to try to see if I can grab. It seems to like continue a little bit there, but for some reason it's changed, and you can see what looks like rocks over here. So it's a long, kind of looks like metal in the middle of what is definitely a canal, in my opinion. You can't question this canal anymore, but what you can do is question what's inside. Now, obviously, that's not part of it. Let's see if there's any more. I don't want to show the whole video here for a few reasons. I think we can show this. Okay, that shows him standing there. Is that Dan? I also have been talking to a gentleman named Dan. So that shows the whole piece right there. And I don't have any way of zooming in on that. But I should take a screenshot and zoom in on it, because it shows basically the full extent of this item. And I'm using the snipping tool. Obviously, I better just save it. And then, yeah. Congratulations, Mike Collins, for reaching 50,000 on his channel. I don't know if you get one of those certificates for 50. I think it's still way above that. Look at that thing. So yeah, as you can see, if that's a foot and that guy's right there, it's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe a little bit more, like 8, 9, 10, maybe about 10 feet long. Maybe that's a person and that's half a person. So maybe 6 plus, I think it's about 10 foot long. Yeah, I agree with that statement you just made, Rome Dog. Let me see. You said the rocks are red from the ore in it rusting. I agree with that, and I can show you some rocks that I have in my how do you say, in my other videos, where they're red because they've been rained on, there was water, and then they're black from some cataclysm. And is a cataclysm because Plato's explanation is that they're, anyways, Plato's explanation is that they're white, red, and black. We got plenty of that here, but it seems like the black part was from some exposed to a cataclysm. Not sure about that, but I can definitely show you some examples of that. Anyways, getting back to this, I guess we're almost finished. Let me continue to read. We took a sample. Yes, let's see. Probably shouldn't be admitting that, but he did apparently have some permission, and apparently they paid like 1,500 euros for that permission. Yesterday, I sent it to our lab, which will conduct necessary analysis. So we are going to get some more info on this. I'll keep you apprised onto what it is. Is it an artificial rusty object, or is it a natural geological formation? But I think we can agree right there that really doesn't have much explanation in that whole area. I've been there. When you travel up to the top of the Idrar Plateau, you can see how thick that plateau is with this other type of stone. You don't have a lot of round rocks like this one over here. That one that I'm pointing out, that was tumbled by water, I believe. Same with that one. Most of the rocks on the Idrar Plateau are sharp, squared off rectangles, not round rocks like that. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it's impossible to just start digging. You're not going to be able to dig. This is bedrock. And so they said they would need like heavy machinery or jackhammers. A pick or a shovel is pretty much useless here. Okay, unless you can take a pick and crack a rock in half. And this metal structure that's here in the Richat Canal is definitely not something you're just going to dig up. Okay. It was discovered by one of their expedition members. The name of the discoverer is Alexander Trach, Trach. That could be mistranslated because of this is an AI translation. Please send greetings to Alexander's mother. And for finding, well, it's a kind of a glitch in the translation. Send thanks to his mother. Thank you, Alexander Trach's mother, and thank you for letting him help on such an expedition. Okay, the other thing it says, where's the magnet comment? See, it says here, it looks like, okay, let me just read it. Let me go back to the beginning. So they talked about this, they talked about the under scrutiny, it looks like a rusted chunk of metal. And the next thing it said was what I already told you. So it says, this observation could turn out to be very significant. And that's exactly what, who said that? Thank you, Zero Control, for showing me live. I again, can't thank you enough for all the help you've given me. Without Zero Control, I would have never looked at South Africa. Who is the one that said, this is changing everything? I was trying to find that comment, but it's way back. Okay, there it is. Yeah, so basically, if this is proven, the entire basis of Western civilization is upended. This could be the missing link right here. I totally agree with you, Mick. Okay, the channel continues straight to the northeast, while behind us is the southwest. Okay, I don't know. There's a timestamp. That's from 333. It looks like petrified wood, or maybe it's not rust at all, but some kind of deposit, or it could be rust. These could be the remains of a lock. Okay, somebody just recently told me that the Panama Canal is 50 miles long, and the only way it could have worked is if there's locks. And yeah, there you go. So could this be one of the locks? And what is a lock? Well, Bugs Bunny did a cartoon when I was a kid. That's the first time I ever heard of the locks. And he stole the locks at the Panama Canal. And what he showed in his hand were a bunch of huge padlocks. But later I did some research and saw these locks. And basically they close off the canal so the water level can be raised. And boats can raise up to the level of the next part of the canal or the channel. It might indeed, okay, so they say it might indeed be part of a lock. Let's take notes. I have a compass. Let's check how the needle reacts near it. It's reacting. Look at that. Wait a minute. That's not what I remembered. I thought I remembered him saying that it didn't react. Well, that's even bigger news. So this is metal. I mean, it made their compass react. I thought that see, I just went through the whole ChatGPT thing to see if corroded metal could lose this ability to make a compass react, and now I'm finding out that it actually literally made their compass react. Okay, I'm just going by these notes. I'll show them here. I just put it in a little notepad. It's reacting. Look at that. Oh my God. That's at 4 minutes and 39 seconds. Let's see if we can find that part of the video. This is a screenshot. Let me get that out of there. 4 minutes and 39 seconds. He puts the compass at it and makes it react. Let's take a look. And no, I'm not going to play it. And what's with that rock right there? That's an interesting rock right there. That looks like, look at that. So they're going to make it react. 439, 439. He's doing it right there. Okay, so it's actually making his compass react. So that means it's pretty much already, we know that's metal. Okay, this is pretty big stuff, in my opinion. Congratulations on being a part of it, viewers. All right, let's see where let's see here. Okay, it's noon here, and so that means this comment is, how old are these comments? You already gave me that one. I showed it, but yeah, I think it has to be full of iron at this point. I mean, what else would make that compass react? I mean, it doesn't, I don't care what kind of metal it is. If it makes the compass react, it's metal. There's no rock that does that, right? Unless it's energized with magnetism. And you're just looking at that thing, and it doesn't look like any rock. Okay, so we already looked at that. What was that rock? Which one are you talking about? The one that I mentioned when I talked about your comments? I can go over that later. Let's finish this up, and then we'll go back and we'll check this one thing that re-indigenizing minds brought up. I'd like to check that and see before we end the stream. But yeah, this is exciting stuff. So let's continue with the notes. So it made the compass react. It's an unexpected find. It resembles a metallic rod with bits of stone embedded in it. It might have been part of some larger structure. I was thinking a boat. I told that to Dimitri when I first saw this, and he disagreed. But here he is saying it could be part of a lock. So yeah, we wrote down it's presumably a rusty metallic post found at the elevation change at the end of the first ridge. Okay, so if there's an elevation change, that's a very good argument that it could be a lock. Now, is titanium going to change the compass? Tungsten? Is it something else? I'm reading their comments. It might have fallen from somewhere and been dragged along by something. The stone embedded in it could be concrete or something similar. And also, look at that little stone that I pointed out. Where's it? Where's that stone? Yeah, right there. It's right there. That stone has a very unique pattern. So some of these other stones could be answers to this. And you can actually go there yourself and dig through those if you want, as long as you don't try to take any home, because they will check you at the airport. Let's see here. Bring a metal. So they didn't have a metal detector. Atlantis is done for. Where do we go next? He said. I don't know the translation, what exactly that was supposed to mean. If this is a mineral, it's still very unusual, one not native to this area. We see a straight line here at the very least. This could have been a hinge or support. We need to negotiate with the locals to dig it out by February. Okay, well, we'll see about that. It's already halfway through. It's January 17th, an update on my whole trip. I probably won't be there till February. This is all really exciting stuff. Let's see here. If this turns out to be artificial, we may have to return here many more times like people do in Egypt. I totally agree, and I'm ready to collaborate on that. If it's an artificial detail, there should be at least one more nearby. So, well, if it's a lock, there's probably some every time you've got an elevation change. Where's my troll that quoted on just a few hours, like 1 hour ago before I started this? They started a comment, and they were. I was going to find it, but if we had a magnetometer, I think that the word in English is So a magnetometer, we could search for more such objects. If indeed you can get them, it reacted to the compass, so I guess so, right? I guess so. Yeah. It's perfect time to launch a drone and explore from above, and I think that's when they did more shots. Pre-planned work, placing sensors, measuring radioactivity. Okay. Let's see here. I was looking at some other readings that they gave, but I'm not sure. I have to check the video to know what they're talking about over here, the 17. Look at the color difference here. Yeah, that's the thing. And look how different it is. So if you look here, you can see the sides of this canal are so different from the bottom of this canal. And yeah, I think there was some type of a cataclysm that washed this area through. So that's one of the reasons why this canal's broken up. It's been, well, it depends on when you believe the end of, yeah, there you go, Rome Dog. Good point. Titanium won't rust. And the question is, and I don't believe that's titanium, and I don't even know if titanium is the same magnetically. AI, is the titanium the same? Will it corrode, and is it magnetic? He's not answering my question. Did you say anything about titanium? He's really. Okay, so it is detectable by metal detectors. So that does say retains its magnetic properties. I don't know if you could hear him or it, but let me, because I just noticed Tassio is here. I have a lot of experience with petrified wood. That thing is not wood. Thank you. I'm going to turn off the AI. Sorry. Quiet down over there. Tassio, since you just arrived, I want to show you the original shots of the canal. This is where it is, someplace in there. I'm not saying that's people down there. So we have actual people walking through this canal. Those walls are like, if that's not 40 foot, it's like more like 60 foot high. Look, if that's a 6 foot tall person down there, that starts there. This is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 8 people high, that wall of that canal. This is what I've been calling the Richat Canal. These guys called it the Plato's Canal. I don't mind the name at all, but I want people to understand that this points right at the mouth of the Richat Canal. Here's a video that I can show you. This video was downloaded. It was okay. What's wrong? So here's a shot of the same day, I guess. Maybe you can see how the canal lightens up and becomes flat over there. And I think it's highly degraded. And it's probably one of the different levels. And you needed a lock to get up to that plateau. I'm done reading the notes. I'm closed it already. Let's get to a couple more shots to show Tassio since he's just got here. Let me close everything besides that. This is the video. We don't want to close the video. We definitely want to show. Okay, so this is a channel. I said I was going to close it, but since it's open one last time, at Online LAI, you can go there yourself and watch the video yourself. It's the second video. There's a video that I created back in, do I have a date? Back in a year ago, it says. Not sure the exact date, but about a year ago, I started doing shorts like this, like in October. And this was one of a better video. I actually had quite a few. And I caught this. Let's close that and maximize if I can. And you can see the beginning to the end of this canal. And I'm going to stop it right about here. And then let's zoom in slowly. And we'll get to the beginning of the canal there. You can't see it yet. And now you can see it. So yeah, it doesn't, I have to be honest, doesn't get through the Adrar Plateau. That's where they are right there. And let's point this north. Let me make sure, are we seeing me? Hi there, guys. And there's the beginning part, but over here you see some segments. There's a little thing here. I can pull up I have this all over here. There's some segments of the canal as well. And I don't really want to try to find those segments. Lines like this are highly sus. But there's one segment right here, like it's just sitting out in the middle of nowhere and it has a line going right through it. Is that possibly one of the segments? It's kind of weird. There's a few others over here and they are kind of aligned with that. Anyways, getting back into the one at the video, this changed my mind. My first trip after I went to the Richat the first time, I was kind of heartbroken. I really didn't think it was Atlantis anymore. I didn't see, you know, just like my trolls say, any signs of advanced civilization. We sure have signs with the quarries of somebody, but this to me is more advanced. No hunter-gatherers cut a 50-mile long road or canal through the lower Adrar. I kind of forgot to make my point about that. If you look at this whole, it's kind of hard to call it a mountain, but you certainly do from Acre climb up to the top of the plateau right there. And that's 2,000 feet above sea level. So you're going down from like about 1,200 up to 2,000. And then when you take this into consideration, all these mountains are higher than down below. So when you look at this so-called canal going through there, starting right here, is that it? There it is right there. Here's a mosque. You have all sorts of things over here. Lots of cities if you need images and pictures. Look at that, a water. What's that? How big is that? That's small, but it's like a little reservoir that grabs water. There's 17 pictures here. So obviously this is definitely an oasis. So that's probably where the canal was. If you have a modern day oasis, you probably do also have, you know, the modern day canal. The ancient canal. That's a pump. I don't know what that is. It looks like a gravesite. All right. These are just some random pictures from a nearby oasis town. I didn't show you everything there, but it's in line with that canal. So there's the canal there going this way. And that's where I just showed you. And then, you know, I always suspected that this little crevice here, I don't even know what it's called officially, but somebody told me it was called the White Valley. And I always thought that was part of a big old water matrix, part of ancient water control. But this is the canal here. And now we're seeing that it's easily 40 feet or even 70 feet deep right there. So we're talking about a major cut through. Let's also measure the width on that. Let's go to the part that's so prominent where we were at, and let's measure the width of that. Find the measuring tape. It goes to, and you kind of see that the satellite was looking straight down over one wall. I'm just going to go ridge to ridge here. This is the upper limits. Let's get feet going here. Okay, so it's 143 feet. Let's get down to the bottom. I think it's actually something that we see very common, 100 feet wide. And down here it's showing 82 feet wide. Let's get some other samples of this width. I do feel that this edge is kind of hidden. It's almost 100 feet. And if this were humans, I think the foot is the best unit of measurement. Let's get in here and try it again. Let's do it right there. It's kind of hard for me to, I got to start over again. Let's try from here to here. We're getting the bottom. Look at that. It's like exactly 100 feet wide. I'll just put it at 100 feet. I mean, you could probably say, oh, that's too far. Let's hit done. Oh, I did? Okay. And you could probably move that there, 94 feet, but then you can move this over to the 100 feet. It's 100 foot wide. Isn't it weird that that's a man-human unit of measurement we're talking about here? Let's go to the other one, way out there where we see the other segment. I'm going to just follow it for a while till we get to that other segment. I mean, we could do this one. I think this is pretty good, and we can measure that. It looks like it's about 150 feet right here. That's like 180 feet. But let's be honest, that's no longer the bottom, is it? That is more like it's full of sand there. So that I should have eaten something more, but it's already noon. My stomach's growling. I have coffee. I don't want to talk about my diet. Yeah, we're getting to some major stuff here. For anybody who's shown up late, take a look at these drone shots. You're obviously in a place where water collects. Why does it collect there? Was this possibly another, like, was this part of the lock? Because you see a major twist happen right here. Here's another shot of that. Is that the same shot? I guess that's the same shot. This is definitely not a natural river. You know, the strength of water to cut through this rock like this, I don't think it would be so straight at this point in time. They shared this. That's the main thing. And I kept failing to finish. That's what I'm calling the lower Adrar, because it's farther south and it's definitely a different part. There's all these red lines or segments of canals. That's not my finding. Mine is similar. Those guys have more segments than I do. All right, let's get rid of this and let's go back to what was I doing? What was I showing before I went back to it? Well, I think what we're talking about the actual item. Oh yeah, I was going to measure up here really quick. Let's do that since I remembered. There's a lot of stuff along here too. When you see a lot of other cut throughs in these plateaus. So I do feel like you can find, like, that is typical quarrying activity with a 45-degree angle relief cut. And it's like, why is that angle the same everywhere we look? You go over here and you find similar angles over here in what we call Dar, or Delia called this Manhattan, and Michelle Chen, we're talking in the very beginning, was pointing this stuff out. Over here, you see those same relief cuts. They're not going at this. That one's the same right there. This is not north-south. But these relief cuts, I do believe they were created to help enable, like here, and then you see a different scan. When you see that different scan, you know they're covering something up. And you see it here. So these cuts, these so-called relief cuts, are a red flag in my opinion. And yeah, some of them are almost like canals right here and here. So why are they all going the same direction in a parallel fashion? Okay, I was going to give you a last measurement, and then I'll probably finish this up. I've been talking for an hour so far, but let's get that last measurement. Oh, by the way, I call that thing the snake. And when I first saw that, I thought it was on purpose. I think that it still might be on purpose. It looks like a snake in the desert to me, or something. Maybe you could give me a better animal than a snake, but like maybe something aquatic. And there's something right there, a little oasis right at the tip. But when you see this sitting there, you're like, that just doesn't seem right in the middle of nowhere. And it does look like a snake. It looks like it's been worked. It looks like it's been scraped. I think that some of that could be secondary projects. But is it possible that that thing was put there to look like a snake, just like other things? There was something else nearby here that made me come back over here. I forget what it was. But anyways, I was out here looking around, and I said, was it over here? These things, these little ridges? Is that a canal right there? What is that? Anyways, I was looking at something over here. I'm like, oh, that's the snake. It's Tachit. This shoreline, it's like an ancient shoreline over here. It's got all these canal inlets. I've talked about these. I don't like to distract too much, but when you see this, let me just get a good shot of this for you, and I'll zoom into it. When you see something like this happening, what's the explanation for that? You see what I call a canal inlet over there and one over here. Maybe it's not a canal inlet, and then there's one here. Yes, I'm using earth.google.com. I think you can see that. I like it the best because you can do this easiest, but sometimes you need Google Earth.pro. And what's up with these things? And this one right here, it seems to have like the ridge going across the bottom of the Playa Lake bed, or the seabed right there. And then way over on the other side, you've got that same thing happening. What up with that? What up with that? How come this is happening? And you can see it goes straight across. Oh, it's even got a little thing here. What's that all about? Let's get rid of that and see if we can click on this. I don't know what that says, but it's significant for some reason. Whether it's a road, whether it's a modern day road. Look, that looks like a canal right there. What is this? Is that a canal segment, an inlet? These things, maybe they were locks. Maybe they were locks. I don't know. But see, when you look at that thing going across, and you know this is a cliff, right? Like if I put my mouse here, it shows that 1,750 feet. But when I put my mouse down here, it's only 543 feet. It's over 1,000 feet difference. But you still see that line going across. So is it for some reason? I thought maybe it was a later project. You see these same things happening up by the Richat structure over here. You see the same things happening, and it's the same type of difference. You see these lines going across, and that's 960 feet. This nearby curve, I call that Michelle Chen's curve, because she was really the person that pointed it out to me. That's a 10-mile curve right there. And there's a canal segment right there. And that's 1,390 feet on one side and 14. It's actually higher on the other side. I'd never realized that before. And you've got definitely two different types of material going on there. And you've got a 4-mile long, maybe it's kilometers. Well, that's, yeah, I think it's about 4 kilometers long. Let me just measure it for you and we'll see how many feet is that. It says 7,000 feet. Well, that's about 1.5 miles. So maybe I was wrong about the 4 kilometers. Maybe I was adding a little. That there is 2.2 kilometers. But it's so straight. And the fact that it has the two different types of material on it just blows my mind. Hey, welcome 35 viewers. I thought I was down to 25 a moment ago. I've been doing this for an hour and I am ready to get out of here. But I just can't believe it. Yeah, and if you're still coming in, here's a shot of Dmitry Pavlov standing at the base in this spot, and I do believe that's where it's kind of exposing to that curve. It's only about 1 or 2 or maybe 3 or 4, 40 feet high, maybe 30 feet right there. If he's 6 foot, then maybe that's just 1, 2.5. So maybe that's only 24, max 20 feet. But over there where they were walking with the drone, it was definitely like 70 foot. But I look at the difference, and you can tell that there was more modern day water at the base of this thing, the way that it shows that silty look. Okay, what happened? Why did that just close? Was that a picture? Okay, here's the video. The reason why I'm going back to it is because I probably have viewers coming in and out. A Lidar drone to the area on the next trip. Drones are forbidden without permission. So as far as bringing a Lidar, I don't want to try to do it, but I'm not against it. I think that the Lidar has to come from space satellites. And I think there's a good one by Conspiracy of Cartographers website. Go to that website to see what I believe is the most modern Lidar of the Richat. It doesn't show this area though. So I did reach out to those guys and I said, hey, that's a great Lidar. It looks like Lidar. How'd you do it? And they never responded. And they never gave me permission to use their image, but you know, I've been doing it for a while. Go to the Conspiracy of Cartographers website. And when you get there, it's kind of hard to see, but you definitely click on a different link. Not that first one of France, obviously. It's more of other projects, stuff like that. Where is it? I think it's here. Other drowned cities. It might be in the drowned cities, but let's see if I can find it right here. That's very curious right there. I'm looking at other stuff. I'm getting distracted. Other images. I guess this is empty. Let me go back and go to drowned cities. And then, no, nothing. Conspiracy theories? Interesting. You know, I haven't really looked at this whole website, but what I really want to see is that shot of the Richat structure that they've got in here. Let's go through silhouette. Wait. Retro map store. Let's try that. No, that's not it. But I kind of want to see if they have a sale of the Richat, because if they do, I think I'm going to buy it. See, they don't even seem to have the Richat for sale. The image that I've been talking about. Okay, last chance for some comments. I'm pretty much done. I didn't realize, I never saw the sales page before. And let's see if that Richat structure is in here. Because if it is, I'm going to buy it. Because I've already used their other image so much. I'll try to buy something from them. And at the same time, reach out to them again. Because I don't know how they did it. And now I got to go find that image. I don't know where it went. Let's see here. Silhouette. Let's try silhouette. See, oh, these are all the money. Okay, all right. Oh, now I'm confused. Shop. I want that Richat structure. Let's go back to the front page, and let's try. Petrofuture France is not right. Petrofuture, Retrofuture. I think they may have changed it. Vintage gas station maps. That's not it. Sorry, guys. A little distracting. Let's just do one at a time. Sea level rise. This is weird. Where's the Richat structure? I think they actually removed it from the website. It couldn't have been removed. I tried Drowned Cities. I tried View Gallery. Let's try this again. See, it's just gone now. So I'm sorry. The image is not here anymore, it seems like. I'll have to find it in my own or find it, but let's get back to the chats and let's get out of here. You guys have been great. Thank you so much. I've been so excited about this. Sorry, let me get rid of stuff I didn't want you to see. See if there's anything else in the video that we can show. Look at him there. Look at him there. That's that structure right there. And look how tall that is over there. And look at the base. Look how cut that bottom part is. If this is pure bedrock, it's cut through. So don't think for a second that this was dug out. I know the Adrar Plateau. This was cut out of bedrock. Thank you so much. Let's take a quick look at all the at all the chats. And the way to do it is like this. We'll go all the way to the beginning and document all the chats. And then I promised one thing that's right there by re-indigenizing minds. Let's do that now. Get it out of the way. Okay, re-indigenizing minds. Let's talk about that. Let me get this out of here. Stig, Chinook, native map maker here. Put a ruler over the mouth of the Columbia River in Oregon and align it with the mouth of the Nile in Egypt. It goes over the Atlas Mountains. Okay, I don't mind doing that. Kind of not as exciting as I was hoping, but we're talking about how could that be possible? Let's do it again. Columbia River in Oregon. Let's just go to Oregon's Columbia River. And we'll do that first. So there's Columbia River in Oregon. Okay. What's going on here? I think I had a power surge. So there's the Columbia River. Where's the exit point? Where does it exit into the ocean? Is it over here? Does it come around this way? Is that the exit over here? Kind of like the deltas. So there it is. I do believe that's the Columbia River, right? Yes. Okay, so that's our starting point. Let's get the, just use the measuring tool. Now, where am I going to put this? I'm going to put it over the mouth of the Nile River in Egypt. See, I don't see how it could do that, but let's find out. Whoops, let's just get it direct. See, it's not doing it that way. It's going over the North Pole. So I don't know how I can do that for you. Let's stop and just finish the measurement. That flipped up. It automatically snapped. Oops, I got rid of it. You're saying that it goes over the Atlas Mountains, and you're giving me the Tangier. I know Tangier, but I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. So please respond. Let's take a look at it one more time. So you're saying Nile in Egypt. Put a ruler over the mouth of the... Okay, so I think you need a different type of map for that, because this map is the globe. So if I backed out and turned it into the other kind of a map, I don't think that's going to help, but we can try. Let's try Google Maps. This always, it seems like it's, oops. Seems like it keeps it flat, right? Like this. So again, if I do that, if I put a line from here, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Can I measure? Let me get in there, right click on it and measure distance. And then we'll get over here. Okay, so this is kind of starting to make sense now, but you're not using, see what it does? It goes over. It's finding the shortest distance between 2 points there. So it's kind of troublesome. I can't do a straight line. You want me to do a straight line, I'm going to have to grab this and kind of, there we go. But it's keeping the arc, so it's not really helping me achieve the goal here. So this is what you're saying is that, right? But unfortunately, your theory is kind of falling apart because of the whole sphericalness of the planet. Now, if you're a flat earther, which I'm really not, you might want to do something like this. But yeah, it really goes Tangiers. I've been to Tangiers. I just went there. It's right up there. But this is actually a little bit closer to the Atlas Mountains. Okay, I don't want to mess with this one anymore. Let's get out of here. Did you even see that? Oh, you know what? I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I didn't even show that to you. Let me just get that back in there. Let me do that one more time. Okay, I'm so sorry. I should have known better. You guys got to give me a chat when I'm pulling stunts like that. I don't know about that one. Okay, so I don't really want to make the measurement line because it measures, when it measures, it does the same thing. It goes all the way over. So if you can imagine a straight line going right through here, you can see how it does go through Morocco and goes here. So that's very interesting. As far as a correlation with that connection over there, you know, we have river deltas. The river delta here, I already have shown you that if you connect the Giza pyramid with Easter Island, the second structure that I found in Mauritania is parallel with it. And when I say second structure, I'm talking about the other Eye of Africa that's out here. I think it's right here, but it's so hard for me to find that I usually can't just zoom in and find it very easily. And I don't want to sit here all day and do that. Last chance to give me your comments. I thank you so much for being here. I'm back down to 26, so I gained and lost those 10. But I still have, where is that? Oh, right here. See, I think it's right here. I think I almost can find it. But, you know, one way to find it is you find the roads, and they lead to it. All roads lead to this. Somebody was saying that it's possibly the, well, here's what I'll do. Since we're getting late in the video and I'm losing people and we're getting to the end, I have to go to this thing. Where is it? How do you do it now? You open. See, I don't know how to do it anymore. I guess you click on the globe. Yes. And then you find, I've got this one thing that I've been using. I've got so many files. I wish I could just combine them all into one. I think Richat structure might be the one. Let's see. No, that's not it. There's a lot of stuff that I kept putting into new folders and I lost it. That's just the crater. Let's see here. Ancient equator, that'll definitely show it. So there you go. Yeah. Forget the blue line. It doesn't really mean much, but the point here is the structure that I was trying to zoom into a moment ago. That's the second Eye of Africa. That's in Mauritania too. So when we look at the Piri Reis map and we see two circular structures, is it possible that these had a connection? Well, they are parallel. And I'm showing this specifically as if you're still here, re-indigenizing minds. You're talking about these lines here. And when you talked about connecting the delta of the Nile, instead of that, I would probably connect Giza, the Giza pyramid, because that's right on the speed of light. That has a lot of significance. And then the other ones, this red line right here is connecting Giza to Easter Island. It's part of what we were calling the ancient equator. I don't want to get too deeply into it, but do you see how the center of the eye of Africa is parallel to that when it's connected to this other eye? Let's take a quick look at the Piri Reis map and see what that could have been showed. Yeah, it's taken forever. But here we have the second eye of Africa, or whatever you want to call it. It's a lot smaller. This one is only about, I measured it before, but let's just get the measurement for the record here. I'm going to stop there. About 3 kilometers wide. But it's got a canal going right through it, okay? I mean, it's totally bizarre. Right in the middle, you've got, looks like a canal. You've got roads also. I don't know what it was, but let's look at the Piri Reis map and find out if that, the Piri Reis map, by the way, I think I was pronouncing it wrong. The Piri Reis map, go to Google, go to Wiki and download the original file right there. Let's wonder what happened to the rest of it. I mean, this is an incredible thing. Let me, okay, now that I've downloaded it, let me just grab it. So I open it myself, and then we'll get in here and look at this structure. Now, for those of you who are not familiar, this is clearly the ancient Taman Rasset Paleo River right here. Okay. Let's go to comments. Is it possible the Richat is the footprint of a spacecraft that landed in that area? Okay, I don't think a spacecraft would have 1 foot that's 45 kilometers wide. Who knows? I believe that it could have been like a Birkeland current, a lightning related event like Birkeland current that just melted the Adrar Plateau, but left that cymatic pattern behind. Now, I'm trying to talk about this. Where are we with the map? Can we see me? Guys, we're getting to the end of this. So please comment now and say goodbye. I definitely didn't want to do an hour. But this is such crazy information. This is such a crazy thing. Now, when you look at the Piri Reis map, ask yourself, David Edwards, what was his name? David Lady Edwards published a book, and he mentioned this. And I'm sure that I did talk about the same thing. What is this circular thing supposed to be representing? You've got a river. That's the Taman Rasset River. Now, it disappears into this mountain. And on the other side of the mountain, I do believe that's some kind of a dog or animal at the feet of this guy. Is that Mansa Musa? I don't think so, because this guy is Arabic, or he's an Arab, and I do believe Mansa Musa was black. So correct me if I'm wrong on that. And here's the thing, some guys did a file on this and proving that Graham Hancock was wrong and that it doesn't show Antarctica. But it definitely shows the ancient Paleo Taman Rasset River. And that was definitely dried up by the 1500s when this map was created. So if this map, by the time this map was created, it was showing a river that was already dried up. It definitely was getting information from previous maps. And we see this structure over here, but we also see a secondary structure connected to the first one. By the way, I was calling this a wizard, but no, let's be honest. Whatever that thing could be, it looks like a garden gnome, right? I see a garden gnome in that circle. Now, is that a picture of a castle or a human or a face? I don't know. And then whatever's up here, this is showing the rivers coming together, and it's the same color as the river. So is that a lake? Is that supposed to be a lake or an island? I think that this could very well be the concentric circles that Plato wrote about right here. This could be the Richat structure. I mean, he was getting information that was no longer there. The ancient Taman Rasset Paleo River, there may have been a little bit of water coming out of the mouth of it, but I'm telling you, I've been here. Okay, well, I haven't been at that exact point because I know these capes. That's Cape Blanco. That's Cape Timorous. This one up here that's on, and that line, it represents the, what do you call it? The Tropic of Cancer. It happens to be right there by that same little cape. Let me show you. Let me show you in the Google Earth. so you know what I'm talking about. It's right there. You know, whoever did the African coast in that map knew all these features. Now these are the Arabic names, and when I said Cape Timorous, I was referring to either Portuguese or Spanish maps. And there's the shoal of mud that we still see in the Piri Reis map today. Wait a minute, where's that? Let's close that. Let's close this, and let's get that Piri Reis map ready to pop back up again so I can show you what I'm talking about. Yeah, here is the coastline. It's like got everything perfect, including that up there. Let's take a quick look at that. Let me move that over here so I don't lose it. And that is up here, the Tropic of Cancer. It's right up here. It's currently called Dakhlia. It's in what's known as the Western Sahara. But if you didn't know, the Western Sahara, if you go to Morocco, you don't see Western Sahara anymore. See that dotted line? That dotted line's not there. This is considered all Morocco. But then we've got the berm, and we've got the mine fields, and we've got the narrative that it's a dangerous, fought-over place. But if you go there, this is Morocco still. So we've got Dakhla. In the Spanish maps, it's got a different name. I'd have to go through some old files to find it. I forgot what that's called in the Spanish maps. But this is definitely Cape Blanco. I call that the hook. The city of Nouadhibou. Hopefully I didn't slay that pronunciation. And down here, I believe that's where the ancient Tamanrasset Paleo River exited. Right here, you can see in Google Earth the ancient shoreline. That's probably, I mean, I don't know if we can go right over it and hover. No, we can't. But I'd like to know what the exact sea level is right at that cliff, because I believe that that is 400 meters lower than our current sea level. And I believe that was the ancient shoreline. So when the ancient Tamanrasset exited, it didn't exit where we see in this modern day map. It exited out here. One thing you see is very clearly this little thing here. And that could have been where it came right out right there. For some reason, I had it down here. I came to the conclusion, but now I'm over here. So maybe it did exit right there. I don't want to claim to know everything. Guys, if you're still here, last chance to leave a comment. I'm going to just go over a quick review, and then I'm going to end the video. It's been great, and this is great news. It's really shaping the fact that I'm probably going to try to meet up with Dimitri as soon as possible. And I might delay my trip just so I can do that. I've been talking to those guys, and I'll keep you updated on that. But this video, check it out yourself. I put the link in the live stream. Later on, I'll put it down below in the in the description. So because I don't think you can really get to the live streams very easily. Oh yeah, and later on they do mention finding some shells. Okay, this is important, right? This is really important. Let me make sure that I'm doing this right. Yeah, look at those shells. Atlantis was a big space. Okay, Canale, YouTube, YT. I don't know if that means YouTube, but you've got YouTube icons. We're talking about canals in this video, and your profile name is Canale. Canal. Does that mean a term of endearment? For carnal, that's in Spanish, like carnal knowledge. Carnal is a term of endearment, somebody who's close to you. So I don't think that's what your name means. You can go ahead and chat and keep telling us that, oh, yeah. But look at this. Look at these shells here. These shells were found. I mean, and by the way, in the video, he says that he thinks those shells were dumped there. There are other shells found by Graham Langdon. I've never seen shells in my 3 trips to the Richat structure. I've never seen shells before inside the Richat. You know, since those shells are biological, I wonder if you can get a carbon reading from them. But those are in the middle of the Richat Canal right there. And Dimitri's video was saying that it was probably put there to distract. And there's, by the way, if you know about Graham Langdon's Paleolithic hand axe heads, that's also a cache that looks like it was just dumped right there. We don't know how so many axe heads were found in one spot. Nothing to do with Carnal. Thank you there, Skult Vlad. I get a little triggered by certain names like Skull or Skult Vlad. Where are you from? Since your name doesn't sound like you speak Spanish, but it sounds like you know Spanish. And you happen to know Canale. Oh, we'll look all that up later. My Spanish is not so good. Yo puedo hablar mucho español, pero no entiendo nada. Pues, Portugal. And I do want to learn Portuguese as well. It's been great to see you guys. I am going to get out of here in a second. If you just got here, Vlad, I hope that you take a look at this whole video and look at what they found. Okay, this is a canal in the middle. I found this myself. I called it the Richat Canal because it points right at the mouth of the Richat structure, but they calling it the Plato's Canal. And then they found this thing, and that was the next thing I showed right here, this structure in it that's making their compass react. Actually, believe it or not, I just found that out because I thought, great, School Vlad, maybe we can talk to me about how you can teach me some Portuguese. I want to come to Portugal. Are you in Portugal now? Let's collaborate. I'm going to go down to, okay, so the original plan was to go back through Spain and go through Morocco to get to Mauritania, but that looks like it might be changing now. And I still want to get to Cadiz one more time. I really want to go over to Portugal, but it's not going to happen at the beginning of the trip. But if I got to look at the map. If Lisbon is near Cadiz, maybe we can meet up and I can come to Portugal for the first time ever. I've never been there before. I went to Cadiz, but I was getting sick. And so I decided I was going to get back to Madrid and heal up. And so when in Madrid, I got over the cold, and it was raining like heck in Cadiz. And I said, I got to go back during a non-rainy weather because I couldn't do anything in Cadiz. I wanted to get back up. But Cadiz is the oldest city in Western Europe. Is it older than Lisbon? So anyways, where were we? Yeah, this is the thing they found in the canal. Skulbad, if you just joined us, maybe you didn't see this, but inside this 50-mile long canal, there's this thing. And yeah, there's canals everywhere. Let's look at the Piri Reis map one more time and see where this would be. It doesn't really show much. It just shows that big mountain. And that's not the way that I perceive the Adrar Plateau. The eye is there, and then the lower, and it goes probably, this river probably went up and over the Richat's probably down here. Unfortunately, we don't see the ancient city of Wadan anywhere shown here. But then you do have this weird thing. Okay, so what are these? These little things are what I call kasbahs, these castles in the middle. Now, let's assume that in the 1500s, when he made this map, he didn't think there was green. A lot of people talk about how we have growing evidence that the Sahara Desert was green. And I'm telling you, it goes green twice per cycle. And when I say cycle, I mean the cyclical 26,000 years, or maybe even 4 times per cycle. I think we know that it's been green twice since the Younger Dryas event. Now, to the degree of the sand becoming soil, no, we've sent most of our topsoil over to the Amazon forest. So I do think that we've got to do a little bit more explanation or research on this. But look at how you see. Oh, look at that. Okay, so here's another thing. In the Piri Reis map, you see how the river goes straight up towards and connects to, I think that is the Richat structure. I just think, and that would mean that this is a little bit wrong, because in real life, the Taman Rasset, we know, went above the Richat structure. And the idea of ancient seas above and below, well, we might be able to get that here, but, I talk too much. Are those 2 lakes? Let's talk about it. Thank you so much. Ancient Portugal. Yeah, let's teach me more about ancient Portugal. And of course, Portugal was part of Atlantis, in my opinion. Are those two lakes. Now, what are we talking about on the Piri Reis map? Let's talk about, I see these two lakes. That's the Senegal River. That is Cape Verde. Those are the Cape Verde Islands. Okay, so that's clearly Cape Verde. So this is clearly the Senegal River. Now, one of the things about the difference with real life Senegal River is, yes, this lake, where are they now? This river going straight up and meeting up with something that's up by the Taman Reset. I mean, look at that. If you're going to say that that stops, what is this thing? Is that a mountain? It doesn't really look like the same kind of mountain here. Wouldn't you just love to get your hands on what's over here? Wouldn't you love to get your hands on the whole Piri Reis map? Okay, let's look at real. I see you said yes, so let's look at the real world shot. I got to get into the video. Okay, so that's nowadays it's called Dakar, and you can see out here that something was really exiting in there. There must have been some type of a major water outlet happening right here as well. I used to think that was a scrape mark, and I used to think that that tip of Dakar was a big, huge piece of bedrock that scraped across the Atlantic, and you can kind of see that happening out here. If you go out to the Mid-Atlantic Ridge and you look at it, you can see, again, this same shape. Okay, I know this is a long shot, but this segment here to this segment here, to me, looks like the same distance as this segment here down to this Dakar. And so that whole piece to me looks like it was dragged across the Atlantic. If you are into the expanding Earth theory, then I wouldn't say dragged anymore. I'm not necessarily advocating the expanded Earth theory, but from here to here, it does look like perhaps that little Cape Verde point. And you do have something going on here. It's all underwater, in my opinion. I don't think we have any islands sticking up, but we do have some structures out here. And I do believe that look at that down here. It looks pretty crazy as well, right? Now, don't mistake the scans from ships making these straight lines. Those straight lines are ship scans. I've been tricked by them myself. You've got this one here that I was like, what the heck is going on there? And later I found out it was a scan. So you've got a better high resolution database in the scan than you do outside of the scan, whatever. And if you follow that one, you get up to this corner here. And if you go over here, you have the scan out here of what people used to assume was Atlantis. And it's right next to the Azores. But those scans are definitely artifacts from ship scan data. Why Google is showing them, I don't know. I would say that's also a scan from a ship, this line here, this line here. And so when you get those scans, you get more data inside those scans. Okay, I'm just trying to explain some stuff. So backing out and looking at the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, or suture, you see this chunk, and I do believe that it's so equal to this shoreline that it really shows you where these started and why we have these Cape Verde Islands. You know, there's lots of explanations on that. Okay, and then when we get out here to the, if we look at that, we know that the ancient Taman Reset Paleo River went right in about here. According to mainstream explanations, it went up and over this, but I don't see how you can't agree that the river used to follow this line right here. I believe that was the river right there. Could be wrong. Somebody could prove me wrong. Chega, a city right on the river. Chega, by the way, is a military strong point, but you start to see a bunch of quarries out there in Chega. I haven't really done Chega in a while, but I would say that it's there because the quarry was along the side of the river. Just like everything we see with all these so-called quarries, they were right next to bodies of water. I think that's because they were doing some type of ancient placer mining. Somebody corrected me on the pronunciation. I said placer mining. Somebody's like, no, it's placer. Well, I know placer. Is it placer, or placer, or there's one more. Placer, placer, placer. Anyway, I think we're looking at the edge of the ancient Tamanrasset Paleo River right here. You know, I'm not really perfect with that, and it followed this line probably. And look at that. There's something here. I take that back. Forget that line. I should delete that. I was using a line I wanted to be at the same point as this. So honestly, the spot is down here. And I'm saying that that structure could be on the Piri Reis map too. Is it possible that these two structures, this one and this one, which are, as I've already stated, parallel to the ancient equator line down below, which connects the Giza to Easter Island. And look at these in here. This little outcrop, you can see these canals going through. Is it possible that these canals were connecting the ancient Tamanrasset River to the Richat structures lakes? And look at this little thing. What's this? What's this thing? See, there's a lot of stuff out here in the middle of the Sahara. And one of these days, I'll just focus on the Sahara only. But it's like, what is this little thing? It looks like it was something. And there is some kind of a ridge or wall that's connected to it. I followed that and saved that. And these are all at the highest points where there's an outcrop coming up through the sand. So like everything disappears everywhere else because the sand is covering it. But this outcrop, let's look at that. This is 1,139 feet above sea level. This line here is an airstrip. The line right next to it is a berm to keep the wind from going on the airstrip. That's my conclusion, my deduction. But on that same outcrop, we see this other blue line, which is like a canal that I believe was connecting the ancient Tamanrasset Paleo River from up here to probably water down here. This is all covered in sand. So, you know, you really have to get in there. Maybe you can find something sticking through all that sand if you look hard enough. Wow, I've already gone for almost, it's already been over 90 minutes and I just can talk. So let me get back into the whole reason why I did this live stream to begin with. There's so much stuff out here. And recently, let's look at these other things. There's like canals and walls out here. And I have never even really done videos on some of this stuff. You know, I discovered it and saved it. What's that red thing? See, it's buffering, so it's not showing it. I think that's a crater. All right, guys. Last chance to get your I'm not going any longer. I got to get out of here. It's already 1 p.m. And I wanted to finish this up. Why is this taking so long? What is that? Why is it taking so long to get in here and look at what this stuff is? This is also not. We're going to save it for another video. Yeah, look at all those cities in there. Actually, I think Google Earth is messing up. I'm going to kill it. That's Google Maps. Yes, there was shells found around the Richat structure, but I've only seen them on the outside of the Richat structure. I've never seen any shells on the inside of the Richat structure, except for those that the salespeople were selling. Last chance for some comments, and I'm gone, guys. I'm so close, so it's really your last chance. And thank you so much for joining. Once again, if you don't know why I'm here right now, it's this video. I'm going to let it loop a couple times. I made this video over a year ago when I found it. And this is the reason why I do believe this is Atlantis or another advanced ancient civilization, because of this canal, aka the Richat Canal, points right at the mouth of the Richat. Look at that. Pretty much of a big coincidence, right? And it doesn't go straight out to the Atlantic. Instead, it goes down to the, well, it points at the Senegal. And then when you zoom in, you can see how deep right there. That's what they were right there, 40 feet deep right there, or maybe 70. So when you've got a higher mountain, it's a lot deeper. And yeah, I believe that these were locks or something, or is it a big boat? Yeah, and by the way, there's a drinking. You got to take a shot. Take a look. Do I think that the ancient Atlanteans were like dealing with UFOs and all that stuff? I don't have evidence of that. I mean, were they people like us? I think yes. Did they inherit some technology from some other civilization? Probably. Were these canals created by a previous civilization? Possibly. Did they inherit these canals? These are all questions that I'm asking. And you're seeing this thing going through the lower Adrar plateau, in addition to all the other canals. Look up the canal video that I did yesterday. I just uploaded a video, and it was mainly the Richat canals, but I showed some others around the world. Yeah, I believe that the Atlantis theory goes on to having a bigger, more global connection. That's why I say the Iberian Peninsula probably was Atlantis, you know. Plato says that the lot adjacent to Cadiz, across from Cadiz, was the lot of land given to the twin. And we're talking about Morocco. So if that's Morocco, yeah, I think that the Iberian Peninsula would belong to Atlantis as well. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it was another civilization. Doggerland. If you don't know where Doggerland was, it's north of the Iberian Peninsula, connecting the British Islands to Denmark. Before the water rose, that area, I can't remember what, they don't know when it got covered by water. It probably happened all at the same time because it's out there in the Atlantic. Guys, I'm getting a little tired, ready for some lunch. I just need to go eat something. My stomach's really growling. I'm sitting here drinking black coffee, and it's time for me to go. Thanks so much, all you guys, for joining. I'm just looking, and I'm about to hit that end stream. So thanks so much. By the way, if you could, please take out some time to look at my GoFundMe down below. I didn't put in the slide for it, but I'm trying to pay for that GoFundMe with the help of my viewers. I paid for the first 3 trips by myself. I'll go the 4th time, whether or not I get more. So far, I've raised $600. I had another $100 donation. And I was so pleased. And it was from somebody who's not a viewer, somebody from, it's a long story, but I don't want you to donate $100. Instead, let's get more of my viewers to donate 5, 10, 15, 20 bucks. And let's have I have 12,000 subscribers. Congratulations, Wandering Wolf, for getting to 50,000 just last night. I was chatting with him about it, and I congratulated him. And I do think that it's going to help the money. I can tell you right now, I don't make a lot of money on YouTube, and I'm going to forget making any money off my channel. I'm going to try to get into more affiliate links. And right now I'm begging, and please go to the GoFundMe or buy me a cup of coffee. Nobody's done that yet, as far as I know. I'll have to check it because I got a surprise in the Patreon. Somebody had been donating to my Patreon for over a year, and there was $200 sitting in there. I was so grateful to that person, and I forgot their name, but wow, that helped a lot. So the GoFundMe, I don't really want super chats because the GoFundMe is taking 20%. I really would prefer that if you're going to do it, get out of the YouTube platform. Thank you, Canale YouTube. Oh, I know. It means channel, right? It means channel. Well, without the E, it means channel. Maybe it does have some relationship with the word canal. Anyways, yeah, let's, I don't know, Canale YouTube. What's your YouTube channel like? I don't mind giving you a shout out. But thanks again, guys. I'm definitely out of here at this point in time. Give me that thumbs up before you go and share this video. Donate to the GoFundMe down below. If you don't know the channel that I've shown you, go check it out. One last time, it's LAI. It's called, I still haven't memorized it by it's here. It's called at online LAI. Go check that out. Y'all have a good day. Give me a couple bucks in the GoFundMe. It's an Italian channel. Okay. Thank you, Canale. It's nice to meet you if we haven't already met. I'm out of here, guys. Have a great day. I hope it warms up. I wanted to get outside and do some yard work. Thanks again. Bye-bye.